I was going to say I had long hair, a head full of hair, and you had a, like jarhead military style slight.
That'd be weird. Just both of us swapped like that?
Yeah.
Like you with hair down to your nipples? Like that'd be...
Yeah. I'd look like Travis Tritt.
No one intervened on behalf of...
Good. Jim Overton, and I'm Trent Maloney. And today, we have
Salutations, good people. Welcome to the CS Podcast, where we create stuff. Or if you're Trey,
Money!
Oh, God. Create shit.
I don't know, what if you had 60 chickens?
An inch and a half, that's about that.
That's about there.
You said it with confidence.
Hey kid, that limp was pretty good, but that wince was money.
You just had him throwing a goat, and in midair he's just like, ah!
Well, I don't know what sound a Barry Manilow makes. You know what a hawk sounds like, right?
I do. It sounded like you were trying to say a word. Jody in the Soapbox is opening for Retro Garbage tonight. We gotta get there, man. We gotta get tickets. The first thing we're gonna buy with our gumball money is an animated butt.
What just chaps your nipples? Like, what is it?
What is it, boy?
I don't know, son. It's just a joke.
Gary Bankston.
And today, we've got our hands absolutely full. Salutations, good people. Welcome to the CS Podcast, where we create stuff, or if you're Trey, create shit. And today, we've got our hands absolutely full with, yet again, another topic.
Yep.
But it's kind of like an interactive topic, more
It
of
is.
a game, if you will.
Yeah, it's a like a mind game.
A mind-
or mind it's an exercise.
An
It's more of an
exercise.
exercise. And
That's
this is
what it
something
is.
that you can play along with at home.
We don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
for tuning
yeah.
in to this absolute crap show.
I think that could be fun. Fill in with your own life experiences, your own life. Just a way to keep your mind nimble, I think. I think is the goal for this.
Yeah. So we talked about sort of a Mad Lib style way of going about this, but
Yeah.
that's going to be another episode. I
Maybe a
believe.
live stream?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could live stream. You guys could interact with us. That might be interesting for a Mad Lib style thing.
Yeah, like right here at the table.
Right here at the table, we could do it in front of the computer in the office, however you want to do it.
But if we do that, we really want to invite one of our friends on.
Oh, yeah.
From
Yeah,
from
that
past
would be- yeah.
a past episode.
Yeah.
Or two, and or no, just one, and let him help us out with that.
Oh, that would be fun.
So I think we're gonna stick to.
We need a protagonist, Mark Duplass. If you know, you know. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
Spoiler alert! Who
Yeah.
we're gonna recruit for
there's
that.
only one person that can be.
We need to hit him up.
We do.
I can just imagine saying, "All right, dude, we need 12
We need 12 adjectives.
adjectives."
Hit us.
Yep. And or we'll just go around me, you, him.
Yeah, just boom,
me,
boom,
you,
boom,
him,
boom, boom.
and then just see what he
Round
comes
robin.
up with. Yeah, because I'm already laughing. Like I'm genuinely happy about that.
The mistake.
Yes, the mistake. Oh man.
All right, so today we're going to be taking our lives, or the CS podcast, I should say, and we're going to be fitting them into different novel genres. So the idea is like if somebody else were to write this, or I guess if we were to write a book based on the CS podcast, and we had to fit it into different genres, like it's going to be a bestseller in this genre.
Your mom's going to be a bestseller in this genre. Sorry.
How are we going to do it? You know, like what's going to captivate the audience? I think that's the exercise. Like, I think that's like, you know, that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve a #1 bestseller in each of these categories.
Okay, and we've got less than 30 minutes
To knock out what, 8 of them?
2,
9 of
3,
them?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 genres.
If we decide to do the choose your own adventure.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one.
Okay.
But we'll start at the top with a fantasy setting.
Okay.
So if you were to take the CS podcast, put it into a fantasy setting. Now, when I say fantasy, a lot of people have different, like, fantasy is broad over, like, it encompasses so many different things, like you get sci-fi fantasy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think like swords and magic.
Okay.
So if the CS podcast, if Josh and Trey were in a fantasy setting.
What does the CS podcast
Yeah.
look like?
So my thought process is immediately we're bards.
Okay.
We are two bards. We're trying to make a living peddling tales and entertainment across the lands. And this novel follows us from tavern to tavern to castles and kings, I think.
Okay.
And we weave our tales. Now, it would be cool if, like, we had magic to go, like, you have visual here. Obviously, the appeal of our podcast is we're visual. You know, you can see us, you can interact, we can do stuff. We have these quirky characters. We could still have those, but what if we summoned them? Like, what if we could, like, you know, conjuring familiars or like illusions, if we cast illusions while we spoke of our tales and whatever we wanted to talk about.
People who've never been to the ocean get to see William. We conjure up a William.
Yeah.
We have
a William.
We have a llama.
Yeah.
We have
All Might.
we have a platypus. The platypus would look like an actual out of this world.
They'd be like, what is that?
Yeah. We'd say we have a bat. His name is Donald King.
Donald King of the
Don
Bat.
King Bat. For those of you who've never watched us, this is Don King Bat.
Yes. We have Don King Spider too. I think he's on the floor.
Oh yeah, he's down there being creepy.
See if I can get him.
You're touching him with your foot. With your phobia for spiders, it just doesn't look right.
It doesn't feel right either.
So
Give me your foot. Or if we rode like a llama. Like, what if Mr. Timmons was our steed?
Mr. Timmons is the steed. He trots along. He pulls our...
We have a caravan. We roll around with a caravan. That was weird. It just got brighter. I know that had to show up on camera. That was odd.
That has literally never done that.
I guess that bulb got fixed. I don't know what that was.
There's an elf. There's a
little electric desk elf.
A little electric desk elf fixing the...
Derek finally got his shit together and fixed that light bulb.
He finally took the bucket off. He can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you're... Again, if this is your first time watching or listening, you have no clue what we're talking about, check out our channel. How do you do that, Trey?
Oh, you can, well, if you're on Apple Podcasts or anything else, if you're listening, head on over to our YouTube channel, the CS Podcast. You can subscribe there. You can like this video. You can watch this same video. You can comment and let us know what does your life look like? What genre is your favorite? What are you reading?
What would your life look like?
Yeah. And then you can head on over to Apple Podcasts. You can leave a 5-star review. Tell people how much you love us. You can head on over to Spotify. You can follow us. And for the first time ever, you can leave a review on Spotify as well. Woo-hoo! So leave us a 5-star review over there on Spotify. And then hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @OfficialCSPod.
Join the other 5-star reviews on Apple.
Yeah. And just hang out with us. We love to talk to you on Twitter. We're always on there. We're lurking and talking with just whoever. So hit us up on there.
Let's talk about your fantasy world.
Yeah, let's talk about your craft. What do you like to do? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, or your life in a Western novel.
Yeah. So that's how like when I think of fantasy, like that's what we're doing. Maybe we do these great feats. Maybe we go and slay dragons and people just don't believe us. I feel like that's the CS podcast in a nutshell. In a fantasy, we would go do these grand things and then come back and tell people, and they'd be like, "Yeah, okay,
yeah,
you guys are full of shit."
Like, who are you? It's like, well, nobody knows who we are because nobody knows who we are on YouTube.
And instead of the CS pod, it's like instead of create shit, we'd be conjure shit.
I was trying to work on a play on CS, conjure
shit.
Well,
maybe we set up a shop.
Greetings, fine folks. Welcome to the CS podcast, where we conjure or the CS.
I was gonna say, what if we just called it a podcast? And people are like, what the hell's a podcast?
Right. And somebody goes, "This ain't my first rodeo."
Yeah.
Wait, what's a rodeo?
Yeah.
Where we conjure stuff, or if you're Trayvon,
conjure shit.
And today we've got our hands full with our wands.
I bet we do.
We've got both of our hands absolutely full.
Expelliarmus!
Avada Viagra.
What's next on the list?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Yes.
So, I don't know. You could take the reins on this one if you want to. Oh, yeah.
I am not a sci-fi guy.
I threw that curveball at you.
Well, we're
It's an exercise. It's the point.
well sci-fi. Okay, we're literal scientists. I just take the sci. We're
literally scientists.
We're literally scientists in our lab. We
concoct science. That's what
we
do.
make science.
CS, concoct science.
Concoct science.
Concoct shit.
Concoct. So we've been sent on an assignment. We've been put together.
Yeah.
And we he and we haw pretty good with each other.
Yeah.
And we're just so tired of this boring assignment. So you and I create. We're scientists from the 50s or the 60s.
Oh, okay. So okay.
And we get so bored with our assignment because funding's kind of slowing down. We know it's coming, but it's going to be a while. And we have our little radio mics, our little old school mics.
Yeah.
And we sit at our little lab table with our Bunsen burners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we, good evening, folks. 22 Skidoo. And
Salutations, good people. Welcome to the concocting stuff, or if you're Trey, concocting shit.
yeah. And today we don't have our hands full with anything because funding has slowed down. And we mix up elixirs and we create so we have we have bats.
Yeah.
We have like a deceased bat that was donated to us, and a deceased little baby whale.
Yeah, we bring them to life.
We bring them to life. We regenerate them, and now we have this band of
The bat just, I'm in America.
and we give him a beard and
We sew a beard on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we both we get so bored. We drink our own elixirs. We just put something together, and it's like, if it kills us, it kills us. We drink it. And because originally I had really long hair, and you had
A really luscious beard.
Sure,
Really long pubes. I don't know where you were going with that.
What? I was going to talk about my hair. We switched haircuts.
Yeah, we did. Mine's
don't-
nice and long. Yours is neat and kempt.
I was going to say I had long hair, a head full of hair, and you had a,
Bald?
jarhead military style slight.
That'd be weird.
You,
Just both of us swapped like that.
yeah.
Like you with hair down to your nipples. Like that'd be.
Yeah. I'd look like Travis Tritt. Look up Travis Tritt.
I was going to say.
If you don't know him, look up Travis Tritt. Oh my side. Oh, screw around. All right, so I think that takes up sci-fi.
Yeah.
Romance. How about it?
Oh, God. So immediately when I thought, romance was kind of what drew me to this whole genre, because I thought it would be funny. Like, how do we spin this into a romance?
Yeah. Because you pitched that idea.
Yeah, I laid it out, and that's what I led with.
You led with it.
Yeah.
You're like, what if we do this little scenario and what does the
Josh.
CS podcast look like if we're a romance? I was like, us a romance? What?
So my first thought with that was so I'm married, and then you're you.
So I don't have long before I can openly talk
Yeah.
about my current situation. I've got literally a week. And you you knew you didn't have a lot of time to make
Yeah.
inside jokes about this, and that's what you went with. We've never discussed my status,
Yep.
and still didn't quote reveal anything.
Yeah.
But that has got to go into the intro with the little car.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, son. It's just a joke. What if we had 68 chickens or
Yeah.
whatever? It's, well, I'm married and you're you.
Writing it down real quick.
So funny.
So my thought was like instead of it being like a romance like you and I fall in love, it's more so like the podcast is like a side mistress. You know what I mean? So like my wife is angry. Like I'm romancing this podcast. Like it's my new love.
Right.
Like that's a weird way to go about it.
It's your idol.
Yeah. So it's taking me away from like. So then like a romance novel would focus more on our personal lives than the actual podcast. I think. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how it affect. I think it would be an interesting take there.
Right.
I think that's all we really need to say about romance. But that's how I pictured it.
Right.
Is it's more like it's taking us away from our loved life, and so. It's trying to find that work-life balance there. Like we end up obsessing so much over the podcast. Like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. We got to make this skit and that skit and that skit and this and that. We got to do ads and we got to market. That
Right.
we leave no time for a love life, and then we eventually find that balance towards the end. It all wraps up nice and neat with like a happy ending, like a romance.
Well, if it's a good romance novel, then I mean, Morgan packs up your microphone and kicks you out. And
yeah, I have to crash at your place.
Well, this is a fantasy world. So you come over with your little microphone and you're like, you hold up the microphone and you just have a plug and nowhere to stick it. And I go, hey friend, I have a place for you to stick it.
I knew that's where you were going with that.
And then you come in and you plug in,
Light turns on,
light
air
turns
mic.
on. Yep. And you're like, I'm like, hey, I'm pretty not a good friend. Pretty not a good friend.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
And I'm like, hey, all you need, man, is this podcast.
All you need is this microphone.
Here, open a beer. And you're like,
This
but I
is
don't.
life.
And you're like, but I don't drink. And I'm like, neither do I. Maybe we should start.
Foam. And we start the podcast. And it's a banger of an episode.
Oh, it goes great.
Yeah.
It goes really good.
And we forgot to hit record, or it's corrupted, or we lose the episode.
No, okay.
Oh, okay. That would just be a like it goes so well, and then that's the falling. It's like we lost the episode. Like it can never, and then it never accumulates to that point again, and that's where I realized I need a work-life balance. It's a lesson. It's like a moral.
Well,
Wait, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna go a little more grandiose and say we have all this free time and all this creativity, and because you don't have the responsibilities of being a family man, we go ham and we make it huge. We get awards. We're being flown to other places to be on radio shows.
And I'm still sad.
And you're doing all this, and on the plane, you pull out your phone and you see pictures, and you're on national television because our podcast has made us celebrities.
Yeah.
We're now getting offered to be in movies.
Yeah.
And all this, and something catastrophic happens, and something happens to where you and your wife reunite.
Yeah.
And she wasn't impressed with anything you did.
Yeah.
She just wants you.
Oh,
And
That's a
you
romance
said,
novel.
you know what?
I don't need this.
I thought all I wanted was that. All I need is you.
All I need is you, baby.
You, baby.
Western.
And I'm still at my place. Now I'm an alcoholic. And I'm like, welcome.
Back in the glory days. Back when I had the podcast.
Yeah, back when Trey wasn't such a puss.
I didn't peak in high school. I peaked on the podcast.
picked on the podcast.
Western.
I think we were just nice
Yeah.
segue.
Yeah. Good old Wegsay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So Western, I don't know. We're
for outlaws.
we are outlaws.
Yeah, maybe something about like podcasting makes us outlaws.
Oh, okay. So not a traditional Western,
Yeah, well, I feel like that's kind of traditional, like outlaws and bandits. Like,
but podcasting.
well, yeah. I just don't know how that would translate into it. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, if
we go in a, I think it could be similar to the fantasy.
Yeah.
Like we're two bandits or outlaws that travel together, and
maybe we do all this stuff and then we tell about it. Oh, go ahead. Okay,
I got it.
Okay, see, that's what we're doing. Exercise.
So we show up into town on different days.
Okay.
And one of us let's just say you show up first.
Yeah.
And you kind of familiarize yourself with the town. And
Yeah.
the town, they start seeing your face around, so they start to accept you a bit.
Yeah.
And so now you're one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe you do it for, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe a
Yeah.
month or longer. Well, now this new person rolls into town
Yeah.
on a dark horse. And
Yeah.
I go into the local, bar,
Yeah. Saloon.
saloon, and I sit down and I start telling like big tales.
Yeah.
And maybe, somebody would say, I'd bet you however much money that not one person in this whole town has ever heard of so and so.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, there's got to be.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody. He, so and so was 9 foot tall, and he, he had his wiener was a revolver, and like I'm telling you, he was born with a gun
In his pants.
for a member. So they're like, you're lying. Nobody's seen that. Bitcoin's down 5% right now.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah.
So, anyways, I said, that's okay. I'll find somebody. Won't take me long at all. I'll just start right here in this saloon. And, well, a crowd has gathered at this point.
Yeah.
What about you? You seen him? No, I haven't seen him. What about you? I have never heard of such a man.
Yeah.
Sir, mister? What about you, little boy? No,
I've
sir.
never heard of pistol cock.
Never heard of old PC. Oh, PC Pete.
Yeah. PC Pete.
Yeah. And in his other genre, he was a PCP head.
Yeah.
And then here you come. Or no, you hear,
I've heard of him.
I heard him. I heard of him. And everybody, and they look over. It's
We're the
like,
Tall Tail Bandits.
Tall Tail Bandits.
Tall Tail Bandits.
Oh! TTB. And you're like, but that man, he's lying. He's 10 foot tall. And it wasn't a revolver. It was a shotgun.
It wasn't a shotgun. It was a 6-shooter.
It was a 6-shooter.
Yeah.
Well, a revolver.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all right. Well, you better pay up. This man right here. Well, where are you from? Me. I'm from here.
Yeah.
I've been here for 2 months.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I like that. That's a nice twist on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
And we wander around, and that's what we do.
That's what we do. It's just
Tall Tail Bandits.
It's not enough. It's not a lot of money. But before we leave town, we rob them.
Yeah, we rob them. The bandits. That's the bandit part.
We get a little money from them. We do that mainly for sport.
Yeah,
and
'cause it's fun.
and drinking money.
Yeah. And then we rob them.
And for we do that. We make the bets for horse feed and drinking money.
Yeah.
And then once that's
Then we
done,
rob 'em blind.
then we rob them blind.
I like it. Hey guys, we'll get back to this episode in just a second, but as you know, here at the CS Podcast, we love featuring other content creators, and what better way to do that than to tell you about another podcast called Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast.
With host Philip and Nave. And right now they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves.
Hello, dear listeners. Do you enjoy playing video games with your best friends? Then I have the pod for you. I'm Philip, host of the Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. Each week, my co-host Nave and I break down a cooperative experience in gaming, and we are always looking for new co-op partners to join us. So come play with us on the Gaming Together podcast.
So I'm standing over this toilet taking a piss and I'm playing my Pokemon and I dropped it in the toilet. I remember the Game Boy just tumbling into water. And I remember screaming for my mom, trying to get this Game Boy
Wait, how
out.
old were you?
And she yelled at me. And I was
my
just,
God.
like, traumatized. I was like, no, my Pokemon.
That's Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. Come on down, co-op partners.
All right, look how the wheel has
horror.
has stopped. Horror, sir, has landed on you.
So this is a little unfair in the sense that Quaid and I actually did an audio drama about a haunted podcast.
What?
Yeah. So I don't want to go in that direction because that's too easy.
Okay.
But you can, like,
That's
basically,
commendable.
yeah. So for me, horror, I don't know. What if we're in some kind of like, maybe like A Quiet Place or something? You know that movie?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, like, we're the last line, like we're updating people, like we're kind of an emergency podcast, like we're keeping people up to date on these creatures, or
Not a news show.
No,
But we're still a podcast because it's us.
Yeah,
And we try to still have conversations to keep people a little upbeat,
yeah,
but all while...
and maybe some of it's in code. So like as we're talking, we'll be saying something, and then you could break it down and be like, monsters are on the move.
Yeah.
And there's these creatures that are going around killing people. You could take that. There's a lot that you could do with it in the horror aspect. Maybe somehow we're this weird podcast. We got into some like just some kind of weird territory. Maybe we conjured the monsters and had no idea. Maybe they're coming after us. You could also go like really real, and we pick up a weird crazed fan that really knows everything about us,
like a super fan.
Yeah,
like at an unhealthy level.
Yeah, and like start showing up at our place.
Like we get packages of little action figures, but they are really disturbing.
Maybe they're action figures that they've like broken off, like they've taken multiple action figures and like merged them together to create one person to try and get as close of a similarity to us as possible. So they've taken pieces from other, like, you know what I'm saying?
They try to make a Josh Trey figure.
Yeah. Out
As
of
one
like
person.
just out of like different pieces from other action figures, and that's what we get in the mail. Like, there's so many different ways you could go with the horror genre.
Like so my bed is in this room.
Did you have a bed now?
I have a bed now.
It took a year.
So maybe I'm laying in bed and
in the windows in this fucking house.
Right, and I hear something, and this goes on for a few days, and I never like. Eventually, like I get up and I look out of the window, and I'm like, what was
what is this noise?
This noise? I'm getting sick of this. And then maybe I catch a glimpse of somebody's like shoe. Like I just catch. I'm like, okay, somebody was here. So I'm really nervous. And then the one night, I hear like not Alexa say something about I don't know, some light's not responding or something, and then the light flicks on.
Yeah.
And at this table, I roll over, and the crazed fan is sitting in your seat
with a wig.
And they go, "Come on, Josh, Mike's still hot.
Come on, salutations.
Come on, do your line."
That'd be awful. That's terrifying.
That is now I'm kind of
yeah. Or then I'm thinking, like, what if there's some kind of weird entity that feeds on that kind of thing? Like, what if it's not a fan? What if it's some kind of weird, just some kind of spiritual just creature? Maybe it looks like me. Maybe it takes my form, like a doppelganger.
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, what? What do we like? I'm like, dude, I told you we were gonna do the podcast when you got up. Like it's and you're like, what?
We never do the podcast.
And
first thing in the morning.
maybe you like do the podcast episode and like you're trapped in some kind of weird recurring like
podcast hell.
Yeah.
CS hell.
Yeah, CS hell. Or maybe it devours your soul. I don't know. That's probably enough for horror. I mean, there's so many different takes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
oh man, like if it was the crazed fan, it's like, what'd you do with Trey?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? I am Trey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit being goofy.
Quit being silly.
Yeah.
And like they take one of like your catchphrases.
I was just saying
but they slightly mess them up.
Quit being silly, Josh.
It's and then they slam it and it's a
yeah, like a thud, like yeah, bassy thud.
But then they like pull out a knife and they're like, "No, come on, I'm ready."
Yeah,
and I'm
We're
forced
recording.
to.
It's already rolling.
Right, I'm forced to, and I sit down and can you imagine that, me being forced to do the podcast? Like, salutations. No, you can do better than that.
Yeah,
take two. Stab the knife on the table.
Yeah. Could you imagine watching that footage back?
That's so creepy.
And you know, if they're crazed, like they're probably gonna post it with that. Like that. Like that's the thought. Like they're gonna post it.
They not knowing. Giving
like
no regard to them being caught.
Yeah, it's the delirious like.
Yeah.
Like
look, it's wonderful. We've got 2,000 views.
And in their mind, it was like, salutations, good people. Welcome to the CS podcast where we create stuff. If you're trained, they're like, create shit. And it's like upbeat and happy, but like that's what they see. But when a normal person watches it back, it's very obvious, like you're being coerced. There's a knife on the table. They're signaling for help.
Their face is bloody because they face butted another window to get in.
Yeah, but they don't know. In their mind, it's all rainbows and like everything's perfect.
Yeah,
that's terrifying,
dude. It really is. That's like giving me chills. That was almost too real.
All right, you think we got enough time? What's the other? There's a couple of different genres we have left.
We've got autobiography, choose your own adventure, or action adventure.
So I feel like action adventure really could tie in with like, I mean, the Western with the bandits. You know, that's kind of like it could be an action adventure. I feel like, and then biography. You know, it's an I figure like 10 years from now, like us writing an autobiography, like the life and times of the CS podcast, like how we, like you know. The name of the autobiography, Salutations, Good People, a CS podcast story or something like that.
That almost brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, that could be the name of the autobiography. So, you know, it's just 10 years later, just us writing it together.
So that, I mean, if we're going to end the podcast with one, I feel like how our story ends.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily ends, but just where we're at in 10 to 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that might be a good way to end it.
Yeah, and what do you guys think? What do you guys think of these genres? Which one would you be most likely to read? Which one is a #1 bestseller?
Yeah.
I might be a little biased. I think the horror one, like that might be an interesting.
Oh, that definitely elicited the most emotion from me.
Yeah, me too. I guess because it was so real in the sense that like we're in this room, your bed is right there next to the window, like.
Oh, it's so easy to visualize.
Yeah.
However, the Western, I saw the town.
Yeah.
I saw the saloon in my head. I saw what I was wearing.
Bandits.
I saw what you were wearing.
Yeah.
And with your mustache.
Yeah.
And everything. And, like...
Maybe I grow more of like a Sam Elliott mustache.
There you go. I think you should do that anyways. I want to see that
that's
now.
That's the best I can... Yeah. I just meant like in the Western, I would be able to grow a better mustache because it's a Western. Like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
or for fun, comment down below what a choose your own adventure CS podcast novel would look like the old Goosebumps novels. Like turn to page, like you'd be reading it and it'd be like, and then he comes across this creature, and then you could turn to page 34.
Yeah.
If you wanted to like run away from the creature, or you could turn to page 67 if you wanted to fight it. Like what would your version of a CS podcast? Choose your own adventure. What would that look like? I'd be interested just to hear what you guys have to say. The weird, quirky adventures you guys would come up with.
I think that'd be
fun.
Yeah. So, do we want to go into autobiography just at all?
Yeah, we can. We've got a little bit of time.
Okay, so it's
a
10
loose
years.
30 minutes.
So it's 10 years. Yeah.
10 years later. That's weird to think about.
I'll be 42.
Yep.
You'd be
38.
38.
Yep.
Nora would be 12.
12.
And then Ayla will be 15.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be a positive one.
Yeah.
So, we're an award-winning podcast.
5-time Emmy award-winning podcast.
Yes. International superstars.
Yeah. Subauricular.
Subauricular superstars.
Yeah, we're internationally and globally recognized.
That's correct. Which, gosh, our live stream.
You know, I don't even care if we are an award-winning podcast. I just want a community. I just want to hang out with people.
Right.
I just want to have fun.
So I'd say maybe we're at 10 years from now,
Yeah.
400,000 subs.
I feel like that's reasonable. I feel
think
like that's very reasonable.
10 years, 400,000. We've pumped out skits galore.
Yeah.
We've pumped out.
We've got, who knows, 10 different CS replays, 11 different Get Good scrubs, a half a dozen CS or Electric Desk Elves or whatever, all
Right.
the different elf things,
Yeah.
and a number of other skits that haven't even written on the board yet. That are,
Right. The best ones might have not been written yet.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Which, I mean, we've got a lot written on there, so.
Yeah. Well, the collaborations and the opportunities that it will provide
Yes.
in this autobiography, hypothetically speaking.
Oh, dude, what if we had an autobiography and we got to interview people that we've interviewed to talk about the CS
Right.
podcast?
Maybe
we've put people on the map.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Maybe we helped. We really helped because we grew so much.
Yeah.
And we stayed the course. We helped but contributed to
Somebody's success.
somebody's success, and they thought enough of us to say, hey, guys, I heard you were writing an autobiography.
Yeah.
Can I please?
Just say something.
It'd be an honor because you guys did a lot for us.
Yeah.
And, I mean, how amazing would that be?
And not that we want to be the make or break for a or somebody's success, but that we just want to be a platform to, like, there's so many creators out there that we look at and we're like, damn, they need more people looking at them.
Right.
Like, it's such a shame that they've only got 1,000 views or 1,000 followers or whatever.
But
what's
funny is, like, the person who helps everybody but doesn't help themselves.
Yeah.
It's like somebody could look at us and go, gosh, why are they not bigger?
Yeah.
One of our friends
I was
from
gonna say, yeah,
Russia.
Yeah, it's a shame. What did they say? When we translated it?
Asset's not bigger.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we were like,
How's it-
is that
we're
a
like-
penis comment? How do they know what our assets
Yeah.
look like? And how do they know they're not big?
Yeah, why do they know it's not bigger? But yeah.
Right, that'd be super cool. And we get opportunities to be on our favorite shows.
Yeah.
And just because we're such a widely recognized podcast,
Yeah.
our characters,
Man.
Josh and Trey,
Yeah.
have grown so big. Or we're Jim and Trent.
That's what I was just thinking. Like,
on another show.
what if Jim and Trent did birthday parties?
And the comments are right.
Jim officiates a wedding.
Oh, there you go. You know what, Tyler?
That's a business.
You know what Tyler's new nickname for me is?
What?
Because I told him the story of me doing Ryan and Emily's wedding.
Yeah.
And by the end of the weekend,
They're
or
calling
end of
you
the week,
Reverend?
everybody's calling me Rev.
Yeah, Rev.
So now he goes, "What's up, Rev?"
That's funny.
So yeah, Jim and Trent, are on shows, and
I would like to tour.
yes,
I think that would be cool. We
CS
could- the
CS
shit
Live.
shows.
Right.
Yeah, the shit shows. We
Yeah.
come to a town near you and we do all these. We have a whole skit kind of thing mapped out that we do each show. That's kind of loose and kind of it's a little improv so that we can. It's not the same show every time in a different city.
It could
Like
just
that would
a-
be fun.
Us sitting down like as a panel and getting
Yeah.
questions or just telling stories.
Yeah.
And it's like a live podcast.
Yeah.
At some points. Just whatever. Yeah. On the road. And it has provided us with an abundance of wealth.
Yeah.
And we can live the lives that we want to.
Experience. I think that's the big thing too. Is
no, by far.
Yeah.
But we literally don't have to worry about a thing.
yeah, this is all we can focus on.
Yeah, like it doesn't make
All we have to focus on.
yeah. Like I don't have to pick up another paintbrush.
Yeah.
I've sold my business.
I was gonna say I don't have to hit record on another board, but
yeah,
we're kind of
we
there.
would have somebody at that point, sir.
Yeah, Shane.
You won't have to. Shane, how funny would that be? We've made Shane super wealthy because we pay him so good. He just thanks, guys.
treat him like shit, but he's still grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much rich, guys. So thank you.
Yep, that's a pretty good impression. If you guys actually got to sit down and meet Shane, that's pretty spot. Except you wouldn't be able to understand him because he talks so fast and mumbles.
Yeah,
he doesn't enunciate.
Yeah,
it made me really good. Thank you,
Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah,
Franklin Roosevelt.
Franklin Roosevelt.
Favorite Bank of America.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
I like that. Looking back and us just writing the stuff out, like really.
And yes, I said super wealthy. I would love to make a massive amount of money by making people happy.
I feel bad saying that. I know I shouldn't, but it just
right. I'll say it for the both of us.
Well,
it would be wonderful to know to have put in that much hard work because that kind of wealth won't come easy.
No. Well, and it would be cool, too. We write all these different experiences down that we remember that people get to read about. Like, oh, my God, this happened during the making of this skit. Like, kind of a behind the scenes. We get to really dive into, well, this is the thought process that went into this. Like, we kind of really break down that kind of stuff, too, you know?
Right. Yeah, that being able to, in that book, being able to tell people.
To really tell our story.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, we do a lot of it on the podcast, but, you know, at 10 years from now, 2 episodes a week, you're talking 500 plus episodes. And I don't feel like doing the math right now. It's got to be something like that.
Yeah.
It's about 100 episodes. No, it'd be about 1,000. That's 100 episodes a year.
Right.
2 episodes a week at 52 weeks is 104 episodes a year.
Right.
So in 10 years... it'd be 1,000 episodes.
1,000 plus.
1,000 plus hours to listen to us.
Wow.
Could you imagine somebody that we've never met before that might be lurking right now that doesn't comment, just likes the video and watches along that we've never met, is so intimate with us because they've spent 1,000 hours with us? That's a cool thought.
That is cool.
That's a cool thought.
And
and most importantly, we've talked about this before, but the back catalog that like Nora can go and watch, or Ayla can go and watch and spend time with their dads. Like, you know, it's a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ayla can see that first episode and go, "That's my house."
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
How cool.
Yep.
That's
10 years.
Incredible.
The CS podcast story. Salutations, good people. CS podcast story. Salutations, good people. 10 years later. Yeah.
10 years of getting good.
Yeah. Something like that. I like that.
10 years of getting good. Man, that's really cool.
Yep. And to be sitting at 400,000 subscribers in 10 years and them get to see the roadmap of us that first year going from X subscriber, 50 subscribers, 60 subscribers. And then at some point, it'll probably pop. All of a sudden, I was going to say we gained 2,500 subscribers overnight.
Right. So we have 10 chapters, and maybe it's chapter 1's a year 1.
Yeah.
Chapter 2's year 2. And it's just that simple.
Yeah.
And we can go, you know what? We weren't creative enough to orchestrate the book in any other, organize it any other way. And it's like year 1, total sub count.
So
63.
We could. So this is an idea before we wrap up. One of my favorite podcasts, Welcome to Night Vale. One of the creators with his wife wrote a book called The First 10 Years. I think it's The First 10 Years. And it's about their relationship together. He wrote, and then she wrote, and then they merged it. And it's like from differing point of views.
Yeah.
We could do something like that. Salutations, good people, The First 10 Years.
Yeah.
or something, and
That's
it's
so
like
cool.
we write each chapter year one, and I write it from my perspective and then your perspective, and we kind of swap off. We obviously have an editor that makes it look really great.
Yeah.
But we pay somebody else to do that because we can afford it because we're very wealthy.
Right. And it's not about the money, it's what you can do with the money to better. We would totally have a fund for, like, we would have scholarships for creators.
Absolutely.
We would handpick creators and or give people a vote.
I think if we're wealthy enough, I would love to open up we talked
The
about
physical CS store.
and just
Or
run it
CS
at a
cafe.
loss.
Yeah, we could.
The podcast and everything.
Oh,
else would be
I would
bringing
totally
in enough
wanna-
that we could run it at a certain loss and just be like, it's fine. It's a place for people to go and gather and be creative.
Yeah, that
For-
would be fantastic.
for after school or whatever.
We have your 3D printers or your
whatever
you need. Go use it. Just pay a little membership.
Yeah.
Not even much.
Yeah.
At all, and their money can go fund the next building or whatever. That would be honorable work.
Yeah.
And very commendable work if we can pull that off.
Yep.
But
That's 10 years.
that's it. Well, we started this off by saying 10 years from now, but
Yeah.
then we talk about the first 10 years. Well, we're already on year 2.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, year 1 is in the books.
I know. That's wild.
I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
That we got through 1 year. I mean, not a lot of people can say that when somebody has an idea to do something like this,
Yeah, they stick with it.
that they stick with it this much.
And I think that's the parting wisdom of this episode is taking that first step. If there's something you're looking at, take us. Look at what we've accomplished in a year. It's not a whole lot, but it's not little either.
The numbers aren't big, but you and I as a team and as I'm not getting choked up, that was literally us as a team, our just chemistry
Yeah.
and the creative growth, the inanimate objects coming to life. Is that my insurance card?
Probably.
Cards?
I found it for you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But just the evolution.
Yeah.
I think, the numbers, maybe you look
Yeah.
at it, or we look at it as the number is the number.
Yeah.
We're getting primed.
Yeah.
Because what if we weren't ready for big numbers? What if we
Yeah, if
weren't
we just
ready
blew
for
up.
a big audience? Get this big audience, and then
What do we do?
then it's, their work doesn't really speak to me that much. But on year 2, we blow up, and it's,
Yeah.
oh, okay. We're at
Yeah.
a better place to serve others
Yeah.
and entertain others. And I don't know, it was kind of fun in one day jumping 10 subs, which is
Yeah,
it's
that's-
over 20%.
Yeah.
Well, right at
Ish,
20% ish of everything we'd worked for in a year.
Yeah.
We jumped. It took us a year to get to where we were, and in one day we
Jumped
jumped
20%.
20%.
Yeah.
Within
Now
an
multiply
hour.
that. Now imagine 5 years from now, we're sitting at 100,000 subs, and in one day we jump 20%.
Right.
No, I mean,
Which could happen.
yeah, very well could.
I mean, that momentum is everything.
Yep.
So,
But
I feel like it's sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say I feel like we're a classic story of you go hard. Why the question's gonna be asked?
Yeah.
I feel like one day, why did y'all keep going?
Yeah.
Why didn't you quit with such little results that first year?
Yeah.
Like a year.
Yeah, whole year, and yeah.
And then year 1.5,
Yeah.
it just popped off for you.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll look back, and I just prophetically spoke
Yeah.
at 1 year and 6 months, it took off. Maybe. It might not. And then we might look back and go, well, he was wrong. It was 1 year and 8 months, but he was close. It really started popping. And popping off for us could mean going from 150 subs to 850.
Yeah.
Because once that happens, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. So we'll leave you with this. if you're thinking about making that first step on whatever creative endeavor it is you're thinking about taking, whether it's podcasting, it's woodworking, you want to get into art, you want to get into cooking, I don't give a shit what it is. Take the first step.
Not that he doesn't care.
Yeah. Not, it could be anything. I support you 100% all the way.
Mooing.
Yeah, mooing. If you're really if you listen to our last episode and you're like, fuck it, mooing, that's my thing.
I could really moo.
Take that first step and moo your heart out.
Moo it.
Yeah, just moo it.
Moo it, you
heifer.
I was gonna say you bodacious bovine. Move.
Yeah, but for real, this is your motivation. This is what we end on: is take that first step. That's what we're all about. We could probably do a little bit more of that now that I think about it, is encouraging people to create. We should probably talk a little bit more about encouraging. Hey, fucker, get to doing shit.
Sign off line.
Yeah.
There's been so many times it's popped in my head and I've just never spoken it. Of course, it's easy for me to say it after you've said that.
Yeah.
But like signing off, I'm like, we should encourage. So I'm glad you said it. And
then maybe one day, once we get some people interacting and we get some, a couple more eyes on us, we can bring back the homework that we had talked about. We did that, the second episode. That was a thought that I had of assigning
It was a
homework.
Fantastic thought.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to separate us.
Yeah.
From the rest, and that's what's going to allow us to create a wonderful community.
Yeah.
Is because we're going to give that homework. Mm-hmm. People are going to come back, actually interact with each other.
Yeah, and critique each other. Show each other your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll always have the rule of do it in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
Constructively critique.
Yes. We're here to help and uplift each other. Encourage.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sky's the limit. I am super excited.
Yep.
I've got 100 things going on in my life, and they're evolving, and I would love for
in
this.
10 years, maybe you only have one.
I would be happy with that. I'm not going to cry over not using my real estate license.
Yeah.
If I can do this for an actual living.
Yeah.
Why would I not?
So thank you for listening. We never say that. Think about that. We never thank people for listening.
I know.
If you've made it this far, we should probably say it more in the beginning.
Right.
Because without you guys, we'd just be talking to ourselves, which we already do.
Because, whenever somebody subscribes on a live stream, I'm always so appreciative.
Oh, yeah.
Like, with my own live streams, but like with you and me, we're both super appreciative.
Yeah.
And it's like, thank you so much. That's just awesome. There's people who watch and listen. So you're right. I think we ought to
being more.
I think
grateful.
We both are grateful. We should just probably express
it more. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
Thank you guys.
This is us being transparent and honest, because that's just who we are.
Yeah. Have a beautiful day.
I'm just kidding. We are, but it's just like, look at us being good, outstanding citizens.
Yeah. Nothing like the Talltale Bandits. Tattletale Bandits.
No.
Those guys are pieces of shit.
Right. No,
that's our alter egos.
Right. We do appreciate it, though. I know I love every time I see that subscriber count go up.
Me too.
I'm just like, oh, that's so cool.
That somebody took the time, they liked it enough to hit subscribe.
Right.
Doesn't seem like a lot. Like, oh, they just clicked a button. But like you said, hey, these guys are fucking hilarious, and I'm getting something out of this.
Yeah,
I want to be notified, and I want YouTube to tell me when they're going to do something else, because I want to see more.
Right,
which is kind of cool,
It is, and one day maybe we offer enough content that is valuable enough for folks to feel the need to contribute or donate to what it is we're doing, and that can go into bigger, better equipment to bring them an even more.
Oh, dude, the skit ideas that we could bust out with a budget,
right? Yeah, us with a budget could get just like
Netflix. If you like what you see,
right?
We could have a whole show. We could do it.
Probably could. No, I know we could.
Yeah.
Given the resources,
we
it
could
would
do
be
it.
a monstrous project, but we could.
You guys give us the budget, provide us with a cameraman, and we'll shoot it.
We'll get it done. Don't stifle us.
Yeah.
We'll get it done. Well, with that being said, I've been the Scottish Hush Puppy, and I've got some food to go eat.
Until then, my ghastly gang, stay spooky.
Jordan Bell stirred. Jordan Bell stirred.
Create shit. Build anything. Make it real.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Bell third. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping these birds. Sipping on Ciroc, trip 'em up with the words. I done popped a Molly and I think it's be my third.